Hello, hello. And it's time. It is 8 p.m. Hi, my friends. Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Mel, Enlightened Spirit, and you are here today with Spiritual AF, your live psychic reading show with me, Mel, Mondays at 8 p.m. And what a week, right? What a week last week was. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on for me. I hope there's a lot going on for you. I hope whatever's going on with you for you is bringing you loads and loads of joy. I know for me it's bringing me tons and tons of joy. And I've been busy. Hopefully you've been seeing some of my posts. Hopefully you've been checking out my profile, checking out my writing. It's all there online somewhere on the interweb. And I hope that you've been enjoying it. There's so much going on, and the thing that I am most excited to tell you about is the psychic fair I'm holding Saturday, February 15th. Yes, so I'm going to pull it up here on Facebook and YouTube. It is an amazing event. It's the Love, Healing, Hope Psychic Fair. I hope you guys can see this on Instagram, but don't worry. You can also see posts for this all over the interweb. But I'm hosting a Love, Healing, Hope Psychic Fair Saturday, February 15th. That is the Saturday of Valentine's weekend. And it is here to encourage you to get as much love as you can possibly swallow, consume. Whether you are in a partnership or whether you are single, you should come down to the Awaken Center. That is in the Plymouth Meeting Mall, the Awaken Center for Human Evolution, on Saturday, February 15th, 2025, from 12 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. for our Love, Healing, Hope Psychic Fair. You're going to have some readers, some healers, I think even a massage therapist, and it's just going to be a wonderful time to just soak up some love, some inspiration, some healing, some hope, so you can live 2025 and the time to come with more empowerment, more freedom, and of course, more healing, hope, and love. So thank you so much for bearing with me as I talk about that. And now just a little bit of house cleaning. You know, I'm Mel, Enlightened Spirit, and I have been doing this work for a little while now, where I have been dedicating my life to going deep within myself to hear the divine in me. And through that divine in me, I'm able to connect with the divine in you, your highest and greatest good, however it shows up. And I've been able to channel messages and use cards, right? Use messages from your spirit guides, messages from your highest good to help you leverage your tools, your talents, your treasures, even your obstacles, so you can live #spiritual as fuck and enlightened. And so that's why I have this offering, Spiritual AF, where I'm doing live psychic reading here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And so how it works is that you put your questions in the chat box, and I answer them. And even if you don't put your questions in your chat box, I bet you I'm answering questions you didn't even think to ask. So, because that's what happens. I make a soul to soul connection with you, because, as another human being, we can do that. We can connect with people over time, over space, over dimensions, because the human experience is so very unique and so very powerful. To connect with other human beings, it's been a gift that we can all enjoy and benefit from. And so I'm just here, another bozo on the bus, to show you that it's possible. So uh as per usual, we start off the show with my affirmators. These are some amazing cards. They are self-helpy cards without the self-helpiness. I like them a lot. I like them a lot. I like them a lot. They just have a way of kind of putting it out there, giving you a touchstone for the week, giving you a touchstone for the hour, giving you a touchstone for the day. Either way, these cards are here to give you something to hold on to. And of course, if it resonates for you, it resonates for you. That's great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's fine. It probably will later in the week, though. I bet you that. So we start off with the affirmators, and we find out what Spirit wants us to know this week. So this is the second week. The second full week of January 2025. And so moving right along, we have, I pulled two. And why the hell not? The first card, letting go. Don't dwell on bad things that happen. I let things go because I have enough heavy things to carry around. And also, grudges aren't a great look. Let that shit go. Let it go. Let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Right? Let go of your crap. What a perfect message for 2025. I mean, seriously. Okay, how many of us are still butthurt from shit that happened in fucking elementary school? It's time to let that shit go. Why? Because resentments are like drinking poison and expecting somebody else to die. Why is it okay for us to harm ourselves by holding on to things that do nothing but bring us pain, that do nothing but diminish our light, that do nothing but make us feel shitty and hinder our effectiveness? 2025 is about letting go of the things that really do not matter. And to quote Tyler Durden from Fight Club, not until we lose everything are we free to do anything. So you think that you're being held back by some shit, it's because you are. And if you are being held back by some shit, it's time to let it go, okay? I like what this card is saying. It's because we have enough heavy stuff to lug around, right? We've got our personalities, we've got our expectations, we've got our job responsibilities, our home responsibilities. We've got enough on our plate to carry around with us. Our expectations, our dreams, our hopes of our children, all that other crap. We don't need to hold on to things, especially from the past, that don't serve us anymore. Grudges don't serve us anymore. Old pain, old traumas and dramas, we've already sucked out everything we need to know about them. And if you haven't done so yet, get a therapist, or better yet, get with a psychic so they can help you see the treasure of that horrible experience. Take that treasure and then let go of the rest of the crap, because you've got a lot of work to do, just like me, just like everybody else on this planet. You've got a lot of work to do, and it's time to let go that which no longer serves you. Oh my God, this is going to be a really powerful reading today. I can feel it already. The other card, because I accidentally drew two from the affirmators, is clarity. Stopping to listen to my inner self. I can easily separate my intuition from my mental chatter. The clarity of my intuition is a sweet, simple fruit that tastes familiar. And the mental chatter is a confusing, bitter rind that I shall peel off and chuck into the garbage or compost heap, if your mental chatter happens to be organic. I will tell you that I have been working a lot harder or a lot more devotedly into hearing what my intuition sounds like and hearing what my mental chatter sounds like. And I tell you, it is a worthwhile pursuit to discern the difference between the two voices because there is a difference. I read an amazing book by Doreen Virtue ages ago, and it's called Divine Guidance. And it talks about how divine guidance has a different tone. It uses different wording. It's always a win-win scenario. It's never about inferior, superior, greater than, or less than. It is always repetitive and persistent. Like to do the work to hear what your true self is saying is so important in 2025, so important in your lifetime, because how are you going to know when you're really ready to let things go? How are you going to know how to navigate this world if you can't hear your true self and you're always operating from the ego self? The ego self, they say the acronym for ego is easing God out or easing good out. And I tell you, the ego does get in the way of good because the ego is always so concerned with protecting itself. Sometimes it cannot hear, perceive, acknowledge, or respect the good course of action. It always tries to follow the most defensive, the most protective course of action, which isn't always for our highest and greatest good. So, moving right along, this is the portion of our show where I use my trusty friends, the goddess cards, the African goddess cards, my fairies, ascended masters, and notes. Is it called? My cards from heaven, my talking to heaven cards. I actually use these cards when I do mediumship, and it's actually really amazing. And even though I'm transitioning out of using cards for mediumship, I think I really like using them still. You know, they're there. Why not? So we've already had the message to let it go, right? And now we have the message for clarity. Time for us to listen to our inner voices, to learn the difference between our inner voices and our chatter, right? And start to notice where our ego is easing all the good out of our lives in place of being protected and defended. So moving right along, again, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. All right, miracles. Okay. Whew. So why do we do this work? Why do we let go of the things that we used to hold on to, that we thought were going to be helpful, that we thought were keeping us safe? Why do we hold on to the traumas and the dramas that we think are going to keep us prepared and help us not experience more trauma and dramas? Why do we seek mental clarity or spiritual clarity so we can tell the difference between our mental chatter and our intuition? It's because this is when miracles happen. We are here on this earth to experience miracles. And this word is also my favorite word, which is magic. Miracles and magic are the same damn thing. They are occurrences that lead to wonder, lead to astonishment, that you can just wait, where did that come from? That's amazing. And they happen all the time in so many different ways. But that's why we have to let go of the drama and the traumas so we can be free to see the miracles, to experience the magic. That's why we have to get closer to what our divine is saying, the divine inside of us, the good inside of us. Let that speak louder than our egos, than our defensive selves. And so we can get clear on how our divine self sounds so we can see, perceive, and enjoy the miracles that are all around us. And so, yes, please take heart. Miracles and magic are happening every day, and they're happening this week. Woo! So moving right along, time to recharge, okay? So, why do we want to recharge? Because we are exhausted. We're so exhausted that we can't see the miracles, right? We're so exhausted that our mental clarity and our spiritual clarity is getting befuddled, right? We are so exhausted that it's easy to go to a place of defensiveness rather than a place of openness. That's why we don't want to let anything go. So how about we take some time and go to the spa, recharge by water, recharge by taking cleansing showers. So I don't have a bathtub anymore. So what I do is when I get in the shower, I pray. I say to that shower head, please clear away all the gunk that I don't need any longer so I can do the greatest good, right? And that shower, it recharges me. I ask the water to give me the energy, the mental, the spiritual, the physical fortitude to face the day. And so by doing that, I give myself an opportunity to see the miracles, to hear, to let go all the shit I'm butthurt about, all the stuff that's holding me back from my highest and greatest good. I also give myself an opportunity to get clearer, more clear, to hear the voice of my divine, greater, and highest good. So I don't work from a place of always needing to defend myself and protect myself, because I always know that I'm guided and protected. That's the miracle. Just by being a human, I am guided, protected, and loved by the power that creates planets. So what do I need to be afraid of? What do you need to be afraid of? Nothing. Let's let that shit go. Next, okay, environmental awareness. So in our recharging, right? In this whole grand scheme of things, we want to be mindful of the spaces that we're in. We want to be mindful of the people we're around and the things that we're doing. So letting go means sometimes clearing out our space, right? Getting mental and spiritual and emotional clarity means sometimes writing things down, or at least carving out the space in your day or in your home to write things down. Give yourself some time, right? Clear off that desk so you have the space so you can get clear. We want you to also notice what your environment is saying about miracles and magic happening in your life. Is your environment one that's conducive to those things? Are you surrounded by people, places, and things that miracles and magic just are not readily available or easily perceived? If so, then maybe it's time to go to a different place. And then bodies of water, right? Or recharging. Ask yourself, are you in the environment to recharge? This week especially, it's time for you to be proactive and to get yourself in the space, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, all that stuff. Take all the actions you actually need to take so you are in an environment where you can hear yourself, you can release that which no longer serves you, and you can be open to the magic. And so here we go. The next card is yoga. Okay, so yoga is not just about asana practice, stretching and twisting yourself. Yoga, the word yoga means to yoke, to connect, right? Connect your mind, your body, and your spirit. And so this is the message of the week. It is time to connect your mind, your body, and spirit. And the asana practice, the physical practice of yoga, does that. But let's see if we can maybe just make that a physical practice in our daily lives. So when we're driving in our cars, can we emotionally be serene to drive and focus and just enjoy the drive rather than plotting and planning the things we have to do when we finally park the car? Can we show up and be kind on the road like we would be kind to ourselves on the yoga mat? Can we see how miracles are happening on the ride, right? Where we find that awesome parking spot, or we make it to someplace on time when we thought we were going to be late? Do we let go of the fact that we constantly feel like people are going to cut us off or treat us like trash on the road and just drive like we know we belong there, and so does everybody else? Are we going to have the clarity, the emotional, the mental, and physical clarity to drive with just knowing that this is a means to an end? It isn't going to last forever. That this moment in time is so transient that we cannot give so much energy to it to make us go off the beam, to get butthurt, or to get angry because people might cut us off or honk at us. The whole point of the matter is this week it is really about taking care of yourself in a way so that you can perceive, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste all the wonders of the world, all the wonders of yourself, so you can be more in love, more empowered, more free, so you can hashtag live enlightened and spiritual AF. So moving right along. This is I knew this was going to be a big reading today. Now we have a message from heaven. All right, guys, let's see what you're trying to tell us this week. Mm, tears cleanse the soul. And how perfect is it, right? Our first card today was let it go. Let that shit go. And sometimes it means crying. Do you know that when you cry, you are releasing hormones, you are releasing toxins that only come from your eyes, that come from your brain, that come from your nasal, from your sinuses, that come from your heart? We all need to cry. Crying is a way to recharge. Yes, crying is a way to recharge, and we need to do this on a monthly basis at least, so we can operate at our at our most efficient, right? Crying also gives us some clarity, right? When we cry it out, when we allow those toxins to leave our body, we are graced with this period of just sometimes calm, a new perspective, some new insight about what we've experienced and what we think we're experiencing. So it's time to let it go and to allow ourselves the opportunity to cry. Now, yeah, environmental awareness. You might need to put yourself in an environment where crying makes you feel safe, that crying feels okay for you. So, yeah, I wasn't going to cry in my family home where anyone could see me, but I would cry in my closet. Yes, I do like a closet. A closet is a nice, fun place to do things that you don't want people to see you in. But you always have to remember to come out the closet. So, yeah, I would find a place where I could cry, like the closet, like my car, and just allow myself to release those toxins, release that energy that I don't need anymore. I would Crying is also important so you can see that you are an entire person, right? You don't always have to keep it strong and be focused all the time. You must let yourself be vulnerable as well as be strong, to feel the softness as well as the strength. Everything has an equal and opposite reaction, and if we don't give attention to the opposite reaction of strength or aggressiveness, and learn to be gentle, to take things in, not only just give, we're being one-sided. So allow yourself a space to cry. And like I said, crying will help us recharge. Crying is important for each and every one of us because it opens us up to miracles happening in our lives. The miracles, the magic, it's happening every day. It's happening all the time. And that's why I'm here to help you all see this in your life. I mean, many of you may know that there have been so many miracles, so many magical things that happened in my life, from cars to opportunities to love to breakups. I was with this one guy, right? He spoke a different language than I did, and I was in love with him, right? Some people would know him as the Moroccan. I was in love with this guy. At least I thought I was in love with this guy. And I realized that we couldn't have a relationship anymore because he spoke another language and I didn't speak that language. And so we didn't understand each other. And I had moved him into my house. Those were back in my wild and crazy days. And I realized, oh shit, I had made a mistake, right? I had gained some mental clarity that I didn't mistake and I didn't want to be with this guy anymore. I had to let him go somehow, some way, some shape, or form. I cried about it. I was like, oh God, oh, please help me. If you help me fix this problem, I'll never do it again. I had to keep focusing on the next best thing, right? I couldn't just cause a fight. I had to be kind. I had to wait. I had to pray. I had to talk to friends about how to handle the situation. I had to put myself in the circles where I could get help for that situation, right? I couldn't keep going back to my friends that were like, "Oh, it's a good idea. Don't let him leave. You should keep him, Melanie," even though I didn't understand him, he didn't understand me. And then one day I came home and he was gone. And that was the miracle. I had gotten clarity about my situation. I decided to let it go, even though it would have helped my life in some way, but it was going to harm my life in another way. I got the clarity. I recharged. I got the help, the insight. I put myself in the right circles, and then the miracle happened. One day he was gone, never to return. And so, if miracles like that can happen for me, the miracles like that and so many more can happen for you. And that's why I do this work. That's why I show up week after week so far to give you messages of love, healing, hope, empowerment, and freedom to help you live enlightened and spiritual AF. And so this we're coming to the end of the show today. And again, please put this on your calendar. It's something to be very excited about. The Love, Healing, Hope Psychic Fair. This is Saturday, February 15th at the Awaken Center for Human Evolution in the Plymouth Meeting Mall. And you will have an opportunity to get readings and healings from psychics, Reiki masters, even massages from some really talented, gifted, loving individuals who have shown up the Saturday of Valentine's Day weekend to give you love, to give you hope, to give you healing, empowerment, freedom. It is a free event to enter. Readings are going to be $40. The healings, we're still working out those prices, but you come. It's almost like a little mini retreat where you get to just take care of yourself and love on the greatest asset you will ever possess. And that is you. You are the greatest asset you will ever possess, in case you didn't realize it. Okay? So, we are coming towards the end of the show. I want to thank you so much for showing up today, for yourself, showing up today to hang out with me. Again, time to let it go. Give yourself the space to have some mental clarity, recharge. Make sure your space allows you to recharge. Be around people that allow you to recharge. Integrate yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Cry it out so you can purge the toxins that don't serve you any longer. And do all this because miracles are happening. The magic is happening. And your life is representative, is the example of how miraculous this whole existence is. Just like my life is an example of how miraculous and how wonderful this whole existence is. And so let's enjoy it. Let's hashtag live enlightened and spiritual AF. So thanks again for showing up, and I will see you next Monday. Thanks for sharing your time with me. Dancing it out now. Dancing it out. Dancing it out. Dancing it out. Bye.